Good morning, my workplace warriors, and happy Friday. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Love Day, whatever you want to call it. I'm wishing everyone a beautiful and loving and enjoyable Valentine's Day. And make sure that you do something special for those special people in your life, especially your boo, as we say, and treat them right. Don't skimp, and remember that heartfelt gestures of love, they normally mean so much more than elaborate things, which, yes, it is wonderful to get the elaborate gifts too. But when you do something that is just strictly from the heart, I know that for me, that's what resonates with me. But wanted to start out by saying happy, happy, happy Valentine's Day. Um, we're going to get started. And again, I apologize. I'm running a little late this morning. Woo, it's been quite a week. And I just want to stop by a little bit to for a little while to have a little discussion with you and to ask you this question. Is it getting harder to find a job? I want to know what you think about that, because I have heard some people say that they feel that it is getting harder to find a job. And if it is, I just want to ask you this morning, what do you think is causing that? And because I was watching a financial literacy video on yesterday from another YouTuber, Jaspreet Singh, of who manages the channel Minority Mindset, and he was sharing with us what the unemployment rate currently is here in the U.S. And he also shared some background information that in the, I guess, late summer of last year, I believe, maybe August or something like that, August or September, the unemployment rate was, I think, 2 point something, in the high twos. And then it went up, I think, 2.9. And I may be getting these wrong, but I know that by January it had crept up to 3 point something. And most recently, I think the latest unemployment and jobs report came out, I believe, last week, sometime the late last week. And the unemployment rate has crept up to 4%. And even though there were 143,000 jobs supposedly added to the economy last month, but for some reason the unemployment rate is ticking up, and that with the combination of some other things that are going on, like inflation, all of the changes that President Trump and his team are making, and especially with the fact that with all of these federal employees who could find themselves out of jobs. I mean, I think I got an alert on my phone last night that said that the Department of Veterans Affairs has let go, I guess, 1,000. I think, if I remember correctly, 1,000 employees amid this federal government reorg process that President Trump's team is implementing. And so, just think about it. Those are going to be, if it's getting harder to get a job now, which I have been hearing that for probably at least the last 6 to 8 months, then what's going to happen with the federal employees, entering or a great number of them re-entering the workforce? Because, typically when somebody gets a federal job, they normally stay on it until retirement because of the, thrift savings plan and the benefits and everything. And now, because these employees who have received this notification that they're being offered the buyout, then many of those people may not be at the retirement age, or may not be meeting all of the qualifications or requirements for retirement from their federal job. So that means that 9 times out of 10, if they don't start their own business, they're going to be entering the workforce very soon looking for a job. So that's going to be a flood of candidates into the job market. And so that's going to make things much more competitive. Now, I think one of the reasons why it's seemingly harder to find a job or to get a job these days and it's been slowly moving in that direction. I believe that the skills that are needed are transitioning. And so now, because of with the advent of, well, not the advent of AI, but the continued growth and impact of AI on business, then there are some skills that are being, you know, taken over and managed by artificial intelligence and machine learning. Um, like I went to the grocery store, Food Depot, which is not a high level grocery store in the metro Atlanta area, but there are certain things that I can find there that I can't find other places, and at a price that is much better than, let's say, Publix or Kroger or what have you. So I may choose to go to home to Food Depot and pick some of those items up so that I can save a little money. So even that store is they have implemented the self checkout concept, and I didn't think that they would implement that, but yes, they have implemented self checkout. So have other like Aldi and Lidl. And I think that when Lidl came to the metro Atlanta area, I think that they were, if I remember correctly, they were already utilizing the self checkout concept. So just what I have been reading in the news for the past several years, and I mean, I graduated with my MBA back in 2005, and my capstone project for my MBA was about the about brain drain. And well, it may not have been my capstone project, but one of my projects um, was about brain drain, and I did extensive research and developed a project on brain drain and wrote an extensive report about my findings and what it warned of. And it is so eerie that within 25 years, the US would be experiencing brain drain. Now, a lot of other countries have been experiencing what we call brain drain, or what's referred to as brain drain, for years and years. And the reason being is because in less developed countries, a lot of their career people, um, mid career down to entry level career individuals, they may go to Europe, Canada, the US, and other places to get their education. And then they don't go back home in large numbers. And so, like Nigeria and India and a lot of other places, they have experienced brain drain for years. And so, when I did my research suggested that um, the U.S. was going to be experiencing it in a big way in about 25 years. Okay, that was around 2005, I believe, that I did that report, or before I graduated, which was in 2005. Now here we are in 2025, 20 years later, and we're starting to see brain drain. And why? Because Gen Xers and baby boomers are starting to retire, and they are taking so much institutional knowledge away with them. And why? Because unfortunately, as far as I can see and have heard, based on my reading and studying, and the people who I follow who track this type of data, most U.S. companies are not, they're not preparing themselves with a succession plan, which is really unfortunate, because that means that a lot of companies are allowing that knowledge that has been with their organization for 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 years to walk out the door without preparing someone else to take that person's shoes. And then they hire someone else in. That person has to start from the ground up instead of having been groomed in the last, 5 or 10 years to take over, when this person who has all of this knowledge about how the business runs, what the ups and downs and challenges of the business have been, and how they've overcome a lot of their challenges. That person is saying, listen, it's time for the next chapter in my life. I've enjoyed my time here. Thank you for the opportunity, but I'm headed into a new season. And their employer is just letting them walk out the door, sometimes even without documenting the processes that they follow to get the work done. So, what type of impact do you think that's going to have on business? Plus, when some businesses find themselves in that situation, some of the lower level skills, such as customer service, like basic customer service, like checking customers out, or answering certain questions. Some businesses, I would dare say quite a few, or maybe even a lot of them, have invested in chatbots and other forms of artificial intelligence to help them maintain. And and I must admit, AI is bad, and when I say bad, I mean bad in a good way, because it increases efficiency, and certain skills are, human skills that you can train machines on, computers on. They can be handled through AI. And so, what does that do? That cuts down on the need for the people with those particular skills. And so that's why you see these retailers that have implemented the self checkout concept. There may be one associate or one attendant who is covering 8 self-service checkout lanes. Sorry about that. My eye is itching. But there may be one person, one associate who is covering, anywhere from 4 to 8 checkout lanes. And what does that do? The all American focus on money and the greed for money. businesses are gonna soak up that concept because they're like, okay, I can pay one person $15 an hour to just kind of keep watch over these lanes instead of paying someone to man each one of them at $15 an hour, and I can have more money in my pocket and not have to worry about my business hurting. Now, you know, we all understand that that's what business is about their bottom line. But we also, as individuals and employees, those of us who are not self-employed or not self-employed full time, need to make sure that we do our research about what are the skills of today. And all of the skills of today that employers are looking for don't require an additional extensive amount of training or education, especially if you already have a degree, or you're certified in a particular high impact or high demand career area. Then you may be able to just do some self study or take some independent courses through Coursera, Udemy, LinkedIn, Skill, Skillsoft, and or some others, and learn those skills. For instance, negotiation. That is big because a computer is not going to be able to negotiate. So if you're interested in going into a field that requires negotiation or could use those negotiation skills, then you can take some independent courses and become trained in how to negotiate skillfully. Then also, there are sales, which most people seem to absolutely loathe. And yes, I am one of them. I never cared to be a salesperson. And however, Myron Golden, who I follow on YouTube as well, would say that, sales are easy. And he does have a system that seems to work excellent for him. And not that I don't believe him, but I'm just not ready for, just the hardcore sales yet. And then technology skills and knowledge. Even though these machines are being trained on how to exhibit certain human characteristics or human like characteristics, they still have to be maintained and managed. And so, and updated and continuously trained. And so, guess what? That's an opportunity for you to build up your skills in those particular areas. And all you have to do is do a Google search or go on YouTube and do a search. Google is the number one search engine in the world, and YouTube, which Google owns, is the number two search engine in the world. Then there's Pinterest. Do a search on the most in demand skills for 2025. And I also have a couple of videos that also talk about this as well. So when the recording of this live goes live, I will see if I can link, do an end card or an end screen that links to the to at least one of the videos that I discuss for about skill sets for today, the most marketable and in demand skill sets for today. And hopefully you'll find that helpful as well. But listen, like I told someone who I was trying to help around the end of last year, they've worked in retail all their life. And I was explaining to them, listen, the world is changing, and they were having a hard time finding a job. Believe it or not, with all of their retail experience, even having been a vendor rep before, they were having a hard time finding a job. And when I say having been a vendor rep, I mean a retail vendor rep at that. But they were having a hard time finding work, and this was around the holidays. So you know that something's changing when that is the case. So I was explaining to them that they needed to go ahead and that I would recommend that they study Chat GPT, up their level up their Microsoft Office skills, especially in Excel and Word and PowerPoint and Outlook. And they kind of brushed me off and basically, and told them I recommended to them that they could learn how to write prompts in Chat GPT and make themselves more marketable as well. And so they kind of brushed me off and told me that they only get into the technology that is, how did they say it? The phrase they used was, they only get into the technology that is the right technology. Now, in my mind I was thinking the right technology is the one that puts food in your mouth and a roof over your head. And they didn't seem to think that that was something that they wanted to do. Now, unfortunately, I've learned that they're out of work again. They did find a little bit of work around the holidays, but now they're out of work again. So hopefully they will have a change of heart and decide to develop those their skills in that in those particular areas to make themselves much more marketable. And because you won't be sorry that you did, because for one, learning about ChatGPT and artificial intelligence is so much fun, and you can learn it. It doesn't take a long time to learn it because you're never going to be an expert in every aspect of artificial intelligence and Chat GPT and all of those machine learning languages or platforms. But what you have to do is you have to select the areas that you want to concentrate on, and just go all in on studying in that particular area, and make yourself a person that is can become the go-to person in that particular area of AI or Chat GPT. And I like the way that Arlen Hamilton, who I love to follow and on YouTube as well, and she calls it that the dropping. How does she say it? She calls it becoming money. And she says, okay, if you need money, what you need to do is become money. And the way that you become money is you build skills that are going to make you irresistible and indispensable. And so, how do you do that? Figure out what skills businesses are looking for, employers are looking for, and then you develop your skills in that area. The problem that I've seen with a lot of us is that we don't want to take the time to invest in in ourselves, or the time that it will take for us to really be great, proficient in that area. And that's the mistake. We can't always have this microwave turnaround process. And think about it, when you remain consistent over a substantial period of time, and you are dedicated to and committed to building that muscle, that skill, you're going to run rings around people who try something for a couple of weeks, if that long. And when they don't get the results they're looking for, they decide, oh, it doesn't work. Well, you know it works because you got the idea from somebody else who is living proof that it works. What it is the difference between that person and the impatient person who's looking for a microwave instantaneous turnaround is that the person who is successful in it, they remained consistent. When they became inconsistent, they revamped and they got right back in the seat and they implemented their plan again over and over and over. And so they remained steady and consistent, dedicated and committed and focused as well as determined because they had their eye on the prize, on their end result, and they knew that they needed to make a little sacrifice in order to earn or reap the rewards later. And that's why I'm here on YouTube right now because I want to help everyone live their very best career life. And I believe that that there are not a whole lot of HR professionals out there on YouTube who are offering a holistic advice. And when I say holistic, I'm talking about spiritual, mental, physical, just all of it, professional, just having touching all four corners of life when it comes to advancing, starting and advancing your career. And so that's why I'm here to do everything that I can to bring the information and the advice, guidance, tips, and what have you to you that will help you on your journey to a successful job search and ultimately an awesome, fulfilling career, whether you're a new graduate or a new person entering the job market for the first time, or you're a mid career um, changer, or you are someone who's aspiring to middle management, or a journey level employee who is looking to move from entry level into that more experienced realm where you have about anywhere from 3 to 5 years of experience and really getting traction on your career and being able to demand a higher salary at this point because you've put in the work. We got to be willing to put in the work. Or if you've already been in middle management for a while and you've decided that you want to get to the C suite, I want to help everybody live their best career life because, for one thing, a entrepreneurship is not for everyone. Everyone doesn't desire to be a business owner. However, the other thing is, if you're not going to be a business owner, then you still need to find a way to support yourself and your family to provide the lifestyle that you would like to, that you desire for yourself and them. And also because the Bible says very clearly that we are to have more than one stream of income. And it's becoming so evident that we cannot only place all of our eggs in one basket called a job because look at what's happening right now. That's all over the news. The other thing is you can diversify your streams of income by having a 9 to 5 job, but then using what I like, how Smart Money Bro, who I also follow for financial literacy, he says, um, don't waste your 5 to 9. Meaning, when you finish working your day job, spend a few hours each day studying and implementing a strategy that is going to help you to develop another stream of income because the Bible also says that the Lord our God He is the one who gives us the ability to create wealth. And so we need to be mindful of these spiritual principles and stop having this closed mindset that by wanting to provide for yourself, your family, and to help others, that it's a bad thing to pursue success in the monetary realm. No, what the Bible says, because so many people have the wrong interpretation of the scripture. I grew up hearing for such a long time, from being a little kid until probably my teenage years or older, hearing that money is the root of all evil. Only to find out when I kind of got out on my own or started reading and studying more extensively on my own, and not just taking what other people's interpretation of biblical scripture was. It actually says that the love of money is the root of all evil. And it says that man cannot serve two gods because he will love one and despise the other. So the key is not putting money above God, but having that right delineation where God is always first, and that we discern from God what our next steps need to be, and we can we can enjoy such a great life and be prepared to provide for ourselves and our families, to give back to our churches, our community, to help those who are less fortunate. I mean, we can create a lifestyle that will be unbelievable. And so, yes, that's why I'm constantly learning. I'm 58 years old, but guess what? I feel like God has a whole lot more in store for me. So I'm going to continue to teach my courses to help everyone conquer their job search fears and career advancement fears and woes and overwhelm, and just want to help and get you to the point to where you feel confident enough to go after that job that you want, to go after that side hustle that you want, to go after investment opportunities, just to business partners, because a lot of the attributes that are successful in looking for a job can also help you become successful in the business arena as well, and um, attracting business partners who will be willing to collaborate with you, and you all build something together, because each of one of us has our strengths and our areas for improvement, or we each one of us has strengths, and when we combine my strength with your strength with someone else's strength, and we all work towards a common goal, who knows what we can accomplish. So I would encourage you today to just please consider doing research on the most marketable skills of 2025 and beyond, and picking one or two of those skills and going all in. Study, join online forums that are related to those to that skill set, um, and become an expert in that area, so that people will see you as indispensable in that area, and your reputation will begin to precede you, and the opportunities will come to you because God will send them your way. So I hope that you have gotten value from today's live. If you have, please smash the like button, and so that I can reach more people. That'll let the algorithms know that you found this to be valuable content and others need to know about it. Also, share it with your network, because I'm sure you know someone else who wants to live their very best career life and is on that journey and could use some help and partnership in that area. And when you're ready, subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell and select all so that you'll be among the first to know when I drop new content. Also, if you want to work with me more closely, that information will be in the description of the recording when this becomes a recording. Also, I have an upcoming new cohort of Career Search RX coaching program, and where we go into a deep dive of all things job search, from mindset to resume and vitae, analyzing vacancy announcements, writing an engaging cover letter, developing a high impact resume or vitae, and a whole bunch of other areas that I can help you become transition from the overwhelmed, frustrated job seeker to a confident, authoritative, well prepared candidate who ends up landing your job. So I look forward to either seeing you for another video or my next Friday morning live, which is every Friday around 7 a.m. on my YouTube channel, HR by Namtique at HR by Namtique 167. And also joining me in the cohort of my coaching program, the new cohort that's coming up beginning March 7th. Seats are limited, so make sure that you save yours. And until next time, I hope you have a great Friday. Happy Valentine's Day once again. Spread the love, and I'll see you next time.